Have you ever gone to bed feeling fine, only to wake up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, your body uneasy, or your sleep broken in a way you just can't explain? Maybe it's happened once or twice. Maybe it happens more than you'd like to admit. And maybe, like many others, you've brushed it off as just part of getting older. But what if the real reason isn't your age at all? What if it's something much simpler and far more dangerous? Tonight, I want to tell you a story. It's about a man named Robert. He was 72, retired, loved by his grandkids, and known in his neighborhood for his backyard barbecues. He wasn't sick, he wasn't frail. In fact, he seemed full of life. But one evening, after a late dinner with friends, nothing too unusual, he went to bed and never woke up. The next morning, his wife found him lying still, peaceful but gone. What happened? The autopsy didn't reveal a heart attack in the way you might expect. His arteries weren't blocked, but his body had struggled deeply during the night. His digestive system was still working overtime. His heart rate had spiked, and hidden sleep apnea had quietly tipped everything over the edge. That night, his body simply couldn't recover, and the thing that triggered the chain reaction? A heavy meal. One simple choice. One ordinary dinner. Robert's story is heartbreaking, but it's also a warning. A wake-up call, not just for those who loved him, but for all of us who are over 60 and still trying to enjoy life without realizing how our needs have changed. Because the truth is, what we eat before bed matters more than we think. After a certain age, the foods that used to be fine can quietly become dangerous, especially at night when the body is trying to rest, repair, and reset. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 common foods that many people eat before bed. Foods that seem harmless, comforting even, but can silently interfere with your sleep, your heart, your blood pressure, and even your brain. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you can do instead. Because this isn't about fear, it's about taking your power back, one small change at a time. Let's start with the first one. It's something many of us crave when the day winds down and our stomach wants something warm and filling. A steak, a burger, a rich bowl of beef stew. Heavy red meat meals feel like comfort, like tradition. They remind us of home, of family. But after 60, that same meal can turn from comfort to complication without us even realizing it. You see, red meat, especially when it's fatty and cooked late in the evening, takes a long time to digest. Your body has to work harder to break it down, using more energy, releasing more stomach acid, and raising your core temperature in the process. And when your body is doing all that work, it's not able to focus on what it should be doing at night, resting and restoring. The result? Your sleep becomes lighter. Your heart rate stays higher. And for people with undiagnosed conditions like sleep apnea or heart irregularities, which are incredibly common in older adults, the risk quietly increases. Robert didn't know he had sleep apnea. He didn't know that eating steak at 9 p.m. could push his body into distress. But it did. And while his story is rare, the warning is real. If you love meat, you don't have to give it up, but eat it earlier in the day, at lunch, or in the early evening with plenty of time before bed. And if you still want something savory at night, try a small bowl of lentil soup, a soft-boiled egg, or a few slices of grilled tofu. These give your body nourishment without overwhelming it when it needs rest the most. Now, let's talk about something a little sweeter, but just as sneaky. That little slice of cake after dinner. The cookie you keep in the tin on your bedside table. Or maybe it's a scoop of ice cream while you watch your favorite show. It's comfort food. It's ritual. It's the thing that makes the end of the day feel complete. But here's the thing about sugar. It plays tricks on you. When you eat something sugary before bed, your blood sugar spikes quickly. You might feel a little energy rush, a sense of calm, even pleasure. But as soon as that sugar crashes, and it always crashes, your body goes into a state of stress. That's when you get the night sweats, the dry mouth, the 2 a.m. bathroom trip, the vivid dreams that jolt you awake. You don't always connect it to that dessert, but your body knows. One woman named Carol, 74, used to love chocolate fudge every night. A tiny indulgence, she called it. But she kept waking up feeling drained, even though she thought she was sleeping through the night. Her doctor eventually connected the dots. Her blood sugar was roller coastering during sleep, triggering her nervous system and disrupting her rest. She replaced her fudge with chamomile tea and a few slices of banana. Within weeks, she felt different, more rested, less anxious, more alive. Sugar after 60 hits differently. Your pancreas doesn't respond the way it used to. Insulin becomes less efficient, and what used to be a harmless treat can quietly lead to inflammation, restless sleep, and low energy the next day. But that doesn't mean you have to give up joy. You just have to move it earlier. Enjoy your sweets at lunch. Savor that cake in the afternoon. But give your evenings back to calm, to stillness, to foods that support your body instead of challenging it. We've only covered 2 foods so far, but already the changes you can make are simple and powerful. Small choices that protect your heart, your sleep, your peace. And next, we're going to uncover a third nighttime snack that many older adults think is harmless, but is actually quietly keeping their bodies in high alert long after they've gone to bed. Let's pick up right where we left off, because this next one might surprise you even more than the last 2. It's not sweet, it's not heavy. In fact, it's something many older adults reach for because it feels classy, comforting, even a little bit indulgent. I'm talking about aged cheeses and salty preserved meats. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What's so dangerous about a few slices of cheddar or some salami at night? For many people, especially after a light dinner, this kind of snack feels just right. It's easy, it's satisfying, and it pairs perfectly with a late-night show or a quiet evening read. But the truth is, these foods are doing a lot more inside your body than you might imagine, and most of it not in your favor. The real culprit? A compound called tyramine. Tyramine naturally forms in aged and preserved foods. And what it does is trigger the release of a hormone called norepinephrine. That might not mean much at first, but here's what it does inside your body. It raises your blood pressure. It gets your heart pumping faster. It tells your brain to stay alert. And all of that? It's the exact opposite of what your body needs when it's preparing for sleep. Harold, a 78-year-old retired postman, used to swear by his little cheese plate before bed. A couple of slices of cheddar, a bit of cured ham, maybe a cracker or 2. But then he started waking up with strange symptoms. His heart pounding, headaches, dry mouth. It was unsettling. He thought it might be something serious. But after a long talk with a dietitian, he realized it wasn't a disease. It was his food. Once he moved his cheese and meat ritual to lunch instead of nighttime, his symptoms faded. He started sleeping through the night again, and that racing feeling in his chest? Gone. But tyramine isn't the only issue here. These foods are also packed with sodium, and sodium before bed causes your body to hold on to water. That means swelling in the ankles, tightness in the fingers, and yes, those annoying bathroom wake-ups that pull you out of your precious sleep cycle. Not only that, but high salt intake at night raises your blood pressure and puts additional strain on your heart during the exact hours when it should be getting a break. Add to that the fact that fatty cheeses are hard to digest. They raise your core body temperature, just like red meat, and that warmth makes it harder to drift into a deep, restorative sleep. Your body spends the night trying to break things down instead of building things back up. The result? You wake up groggy, unsteady, or just plain tired, no matter how early you went to bed. So what's the alternative? If you still love the flavor of these foods, and I don't blame you, try moving them to your lunch or early afternoon snack. Let dinner be something simple, light, and easy on your digestion. Think steamed vegetables, a small portion of brown rice, or even a nourishing soup. You'd be amazed how differently your body feels when it's not fighting through the night. And speaking of things that quietly disrupt your body at bedtime, there's one that wears a very clever disguise. It's often considered healthy, full of antioxidants, even heart-friendly. But for older adults, especially after sunset, it can do more harm than good. I'm talking about chocolate. Yes, chocolate. That innocent little piece of dark chocolate after dinner. The one you might eat with your tea or sneak from the fridge as a treat after a long day. It's delicious, it feels rewarding, and you might even tell yourself, hey, it's good for my heart. And in some ways, it is, during the day. But at night, it's a very different story. What many people don't realize is that chocolate contains caffeine. Not just a trace, enough to keep your nervous system buzzing hours after you've gone to bed. And it also contains theobromine, another stimulant that acts on your heart and brain. These compounds interfere with melatonin, the hormone your body uses to regulate sleep. And while a younger person might brush off a little stimulation, the older brain is far more sensitive. Ruth, 82, used to drink green tea with a square of dark chocolate every evening. She believed it was a healthy habit, full of antioxidants, gentle on her digestion. But something wasn't right. She started waking up multiple times a night, having vivid, restless dreams, and struggling with fatigue in the morning. Her doctor suggested cutting both, the tea and the chocolate, for just a week. She did, and the change? Immediate. "I didn't even know I could feel this rested at my age," she told me. But chocolate isn't the only hidden source of caffeine. Many older adults don't realize that even decaf coffee contains small amounts of it, enough to disrupt sleep in sensitive individuals. Green tea, white tea, certain pain relievers, and even weight loss supplements sometimes sneak in caffeine or related compounds like guarana or green tea extract. And these aren't always clearly labeled. So here's what you can do. Enjoy your chocolate and your coffee, but keep them earlier in the day. If possible, before 2 p.m. Save your evenings for things that calm the body, not stimulate it. Herbal teas like chamomile, rooibos, or peppermint are wonderful choices. And if you're craving a little treat, try warm milk with cinnamon or a baked pear with a sprinkle of nutmeg. These support serotonin and melatonin, helping your body unwind naturally. We often think the road to better health is paved with big decisions, but more often than not, it's the small ones. What we eat, what we drink, when we sleep, that quietly shape our future. And now, with just one more food to go, we're going to talk about a habit that many older adults believe helps them sleep, but in reality, may be stealing their rest and stability night after night. It's time to talk about one of the most misunderstood habits when it comes to sleep, especially among older adults. A small glass of wine, a splash of bourbon, a sip of something warm that takes the edge off the day. For many, it's not just a drink, it's a ritual, a way to relax, to quiet the mind, to signal that the day is over and it's finally okay to let go. And it's true, alcohol can make you fall asleep faster. But that's where the benefits end. Because once you drift off, alcohol starts to do something else entirely. It disrupts your sleep cycle in ways that are easy to miss but deeply harmful, especially over time. Here's how it works. Alcohol acts as a sedative, but not in a natural way. It dulls your brain activity and helps you lose consciousness, but it blocks the body's ability to enter deep, restorative sleep. That means less time in the stages where your brain consolidates memories, your immune system strengthens, and your body repairs tissue and balances hormones. You might sleep 8 hours, but still wake up feeling foggy, forgetful, or exhausted. And for those over 65 whose sleep cycles are already more fragile, alcohol makes things even worse. It shortens REM sleep, raises your core temperature, and triggers your liver into overdrive, right when your body is supposed to be still. That's why many people who drink at night often wake up between 2 and 4 a.m., unable to fall back asleep. Their body is processing the alcohol, not resting. Their heart rate climbs, their blood vessels constrict, their system is confused, overstimulated, and out of rhythm. And then there's the issue of balance. Alcohol, even in small amounts, slows down your reflexes and coordination. And if you get up in the night to use the bathroom, walk down the hall, or even just sit up too fast, your risk of falling increases dramatically. And we all know the statistics. For older adults, one fall can change everything. Let me tell you about Marvin. He was 76, still active, loved his evening rituals. Every night he made a hot toddy, just a little whiskey, some lemon, honey. It made him feel cozy. It helped him sleep, or so he thought. But over time, he noticed something was off. He'd wake up groggy, shaky, and even dizzy. His balance felt unpredictable. His mornings started in a fog. Then his doctor asked him to try something simple. Cut out the alcohol after 6 p.m., just for a week. Marvin resisted at first. This was part of his routine, his comfort. But eventually he gave it a try. And to his surprise, the difference was instant. His sleep deepened. He stopped waking up soaked in sweat. He felt clearer, stronger, more himself. The truth is, you don't have to give up everything that brings you comfort, but you can change when you enjoy it. If you love a glass of wine, have it with lunch. Let the evening be about winding down naturally, about giving your body the space to rest, truly rest. Try herbal tea, warm water with lemon, magnesium-rich snacks like almonds or a bit of banana. These don't just help you sleep better, they help you wake up stronger, steadier, safer. Because here's what matters most. After 60, your body is more sensitive, but it's also more responsive. That means the little things you do, the gentle changes you make, can lead to incredible shifts in how you feel, not just at night, but all day long. Now that we've walked through the 5 most dangerous foods and habits to avoid before bed, let's take a deep breath and reflect. We've talked about heavy red meats that burden your digestion and raise your nighttime heart rate. We've seen how sugary desserts spike your blood sugar and steal your sleep from the inside out. We've uncovered the hidden risks of aged cheeses and salty meats, foods that raise your blood pressure and disrupt your rest. We've shed light on the surprising effects of chocolate and caffeine, how they stimulate your system even hours after you've turned off the lights. And we've explored the quiet cost of alcohol, that seemingly innocent nightcap that can undo all the healing your body is meant to do while you sleep. Each of these on their own might seem small, but together they paint a picture of how delicate and how powerful your evening choices really are. And the good news is, you are in control. You don't need expensive supplements, you don't need a perfect routine, you just need awareness, intention, and the willingness to try something a little different. Your body is still capable of deep rest, of healing, of strength, but it needs your partnership. It needs you to listen, to support it, not stress it, to choose foods, drinks, and rhythms that help it do the quiet work of renewal each night. So tonight, when the day winds down, when the cravings kick in, and when your hand reaches toward the fridge, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this going to nourish me or burden me? And then, choose the thing that helps you wake up tomorrow feeling like yourself again. If this video has helped you in any way, if something resonated or made you rethink even one part of your evening, please take a moment to leave a comment. Share your experience. Your insight could be the exact thing someone else needed to hear. And if you found this helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next conversation. Your support means everything. It's what keeps this space alive and what allows us to keep sharing wisdom that can change lives. You are not alone in this journey. Every night is a new chance to treat your body with kindness. Every morning is proof that you're still learning, still growing, still here, stronger than ever. Here's to deeper sleep, safer choices, and mornings that greet you with clarity and joy. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.